Hey everyone, my name is Kabi and today I'm going to show you yet another game between our top players who recently both ended up being in the top 3 of the community tournament we've held in the beginning of February in the Russian community. And so here they are in the top right corner as the light player who plays light this time, even though usually he plays dark. It is Domino. And in the bottom left corner as a red light player appears Snowy. And we can also see that Snowy sends his worker to the other side of the map to start the game more fluently than we usually can see with the proxy barracks. You probably know that in the RTS proxies refer to the building built outside of your own base. So just something in the close proximity to the enemy, or not in the close proximity to your own base, but anyways. Yeah, and Domino plays pretty much his standard stuff, starting off with a sawmill into the farm, and only then goes for the barracks himself. So he's gonna be up to 11 workers, I believe. I'm not exactly sure if Domino plays 10 or 11 workers a slide, but I believe it's 11. And obviously Snowy uses such a rush strategy. He actually has 8 workers, which is not all too less, but still he is building the second racks already and start offending the enemy right now, as he has the 2 swordsmen and the third one is coming. This rush is probably not as strong as the dark one, because the light player obviously does not have a higher acceleration scroll, but what the light player does have is a dwarven forge type. And along with the lumberjack scroll, that one can be used to build a very strong offensive tower, an artillery tower that is probably coming relatively soon. By the way, notice that the resource panel bars are vice versa. I can't swap it because we have a little bug with it right now, so just don't be confused with that Domino is on the right side, but he's on the left side in the panel, in the bottom bar. So anyways, Domino finished his own dwarven forge and started his own artillery tower, but neither of those was ever finished, and now Domino's worker even tries to take a part in the fight. Probably not the best idea, which the worker tries to tell to you whenever you sense that one to attack. He says like, "I don't know how to do it." I'm not actually sure what's the English voicing for that. But anyways, Snowy has not been able to finish his artillery tower either, and probably he's about to lose the worker, so he is not gonna finish that tower ever since. And in the meantime, Snowy managed to take down one of the 2 barracks of Domino. Domino is left with only 1 Rex. It is still the tier 2 castle, but he doesn't have pretty much anything to work with, so now he tries to opt for the factory, trying to get copters, which can obviously be extremely helpful against this low tier ground army that cannot attack any air. In the meantime, Snowy is up to the castle too and builds the second farm. It's not... alright, he actually is supply cap, so he really needs that second farm. I also might just trade, because he doesn't really wanna let Domino to collect many units, as Domino already has 2 farms. So now he also finishes the Altar of Heroes, but there is no racial building yet, so the Altar of Heroes cannot do anything. And it is interesting how Domino pulled his workers to help him in a fight, I'm not sure that exactly Workers was something that helped to turn this battle around, because it is rather just the fact that Snowy was attacking the buildings and the Domino's units were attacking the Snowy's units. And in the meantime, there is Altar of Heroes too, so Snowy is about to start Bombardier any second now. And also there are chests already popped out on the map and nobody really has time to try to get them. Probably sending one worker over to the chest could be a nice idea though, but nobody really had time to even think about it, I believe. So here the fight proceeds, and now it is Snowy who has a Warsmith, but so does Domino, so they both have one Warsmith to each player's name. And here is Snowy sending his worker to the chests. There are also the sea chests in this map, but not like anybody is capable of getting anything on the sea right now in such an intense game. Domino still managed to stay alive somehow, even though one time, if you remember, he was down to one barracks, no ration buildings, no towers, no nothing. But now he's about to get the Bombardier. Oh, he actually already got the Bombardier. And Snowy is about to get the Bombardiers, because the heroes are vice versa too. Unfortunately, I can't swap them now. So we must keep that in mind, that Snowy's Bombardier is only coming on the right side of the screen. And now Snowy is trying to apply for the castle, which is probably not the greatest idea. And attacking workers, I believe it's not the greatest idea either, because there are a lot, and Domino can replenish those relatively easily. So rather than that, Snowy just puts up a fight against the enemy's units. The 730 chest is on the C2, so nobody can apply for that. And Snowy also got the Sanctuary, just as Domino too, so they both got Sanctuary, but Domino already has a Copter. But actually Snowy has something to fight it, which is Bombardier. And we also made a slight change to the Bombardier recently. And now his anti-air attack looks more natural, because it's better suited the actual range of the anti-air attack. Just a slight thing, but we add a lot of such a slight things about visuals in the latest patch, because we are somewhat closer to release, so we really need to start polishing things, and so we do. And we can see how Snowy is successful with finishing off the low HP units of the enemy, also trying to kill this Copter, and this has been a successful attempt. And now with the Warsmith and the two healers, Snowy is being successful yet again in pressing Domino's base. And he can probably even take down these important buildings, while the Warsmith do the bad things. I'm not sure. Probably Domino was trying to target the Warsmith, but misclicked or something like that happened. Not sure if he could be not aware that the artillery strike can be applied to the next cell. So probably just a misclick, or should we say a misstep if we speak about the mobile players. By the way, it is Domino plays on the phone and Snowy plays on the PC using the emulator. It is not really forbidden, because honestly it is not something you can really control. So. But on the phone the game feels better. It is a bit sloppy on the emulator. I believe it is just naturally how does the emulator work. We don't really optimize the game for it. But anyways, we can see this Bombardier still managing to keep himself alive. Healer's been helpful in that regard. And the 3 Warsmith that were pressing the guy actually were pushed back. And in the meantime, that copter that fly all the map around to come here actually now does a stupid thing, just attacking the building for no reason. But if Demina would control it better and left it on the hold position in the proper place. But anyways, Snowy also got the elven tree and the artillery tower and even the human monument, so he is really applying some water pressure to this position, trying to get more bonuses. As you probably know, human monument increases your crit damage and crit chance quite significantly, so it really helps. I still like how Snowy is using his Bombardier, applying a lot of splash damage actually, every single fight. So Demina replenished the health of his Bombardier, also trying to stay in this little choke. But now Snowy is out of any melee units, and it is interesting how Demina is actually already up to 5 healers and still keeps getting even more. It is the 6th healer now. What is happening in this? Artillery strike into the factory now. I'm not sure why Demina decided to upgrade it. Or does he just... Alright, it is factory 2. So he started to buy it as a counter unit to the archer probably, but probably archer is not really countered by a biker. I'm not sure about it. So here starts an artillery tower by Demina. A bit too optimistic, I'd say. But what can you tell about the 7 healers? Not as good as the 8 healers, I believe, but 1 goes down, so it's 7 healers again. Snowy is not being that strange, but he still has a bit of healers. He keeps spamming the archers, elven tree next to his position. Everything still looks fine about Snowy's gameplay to me. But this Baron is somewhat untouchable right now. He's been overhealed. And what Snowy needs is just 1 damaged Venom Spectre. But unfortunately Light does not have one. So it is a great overheal. I tried to use this kind of a strategy once, by the way. With the princess, not the bomb. I was going good, I believe, for like 10 minutes, but then my dark opponent got 2 heroes, so he just clicked and one-shot with 2 abilities all of my healers. So but Demina is doing good now. His healers still survive, and strangely enough, Snowy keeps trying to take down the buildings. Probably he should have gone for the healers instead. Not sure if getting the buildings. And why even the bikers? Probably because copters do not make any sense against archers. So then you say, alright, I get a factory. What can I build from it? Ballistas would be a perfect idea, but ballistas are not any close right now. What about Snowy? Is he maybe getting any kind of ballistas? I'm not sure yet, but he's got human monument at the base. Alright, so anything that goes far from the healers immediately go down. But Bombardier is something that is not going far from the healers, and now a good combo out of Demina, a Magic Blast, the artillery strike, so finally Snowy decided to go for those heroes. They also badly need to finish the job, because a lot of those girls were low someday, but they're gonna heal each other. Snowy's trying to get the knights to be able to deal damage to the bikers. I'm not sure if this situation is not out of control, honestly. Here comes the eighth healer. What a game are we watching? So here the Elven tree comes into play. Units keep doing their thing even after they are dead. No vacation, really. Permanent vacation is cancelled. We are sorry. No rest after death. Well, actually you don't work for long, right? It is just a weekend or two. But anyways, this position is like entirely lost. And Domino has 6 healers now. Keeps producing those. Keeps producing Warsmith and the bikers. And 2 these units were considered useless and underpowered units like for a year. I believe that on the lower level many players still play Warsmith because it is the tier 1 unit, and you also learn how to play it in the first chapter of campaign that we usually call a tutorial. So players are just familiar with Warsmith. On the top level, many say that Warsmith and healers are entirely useless, utterly useless. And see what is happening. I'm not sure what we are watching. But anyways, Snowy used his human monument to get a paladin, which actually is not a bad idea. And Snowy is going for the buildings yet again. This one I don't really like. I'm really sure that he has to go for the healers. The healers are the problem, but probably Snowy thinks that healers are useless. And for this reason does not really take care about them. Ballistas is a good idea now, but Domino was able to jump on those really quick, and Snowy wasn't able to reply to that, to find an answer. 2 racks though, still active. Here come the first guardsmen, and Ballista is attacking this one like from the screen away. And did a good damage now to the healers again, but Ballistas obviously need an assistance. So this one goes down too. The girls keep chilling, healing each other, talking funny stories. Who cares that this stupid dwarf went somewhere and is now on low HP? Could have hung out with the crew, right? 9 healers. The 10th one is coming. Alright, so actually the ballistas in the is the answer, I believe, because they can do the burst damage, but Snowy is a bit slow in adding those. I'm not really sure that he needs this elven tree. He really needed to apply for more ballistas, as many as he can. But let's see how this one turns out. So now Domino is offending the enemy's position, and it is not that simple. Well, in the ideal world at least. Probably it is quite simple if you don't control your ballista properly. And the second one pops up just now. For some reason Domino used a firefly scroll. Probably he was about to highlight something. Domino also added the princess And this ballista goes down under the bombardier act. This is how Domino is not underestimating the ballista. So he used a whole active to kill. So I believe that Snowy should have paid maximum attention with his Baron to care about the enemy's bikers, to protect ballistas. And of course to try to care about the enemy's healers. But now another ballista comes. And Domino is not really able to break this through. So he pulls back. In this moment I'd probably drop down a shipyard to quickly obtain everything that is there in the sea. Because Domino really has the resources for that right now. But probably it is a bit I'm not sure how to call that.
The point is captured.
It's not something that come across your mind in this active game. When there is so many events happening. In the prospect of the ground fights, right? You don't really think about the sea anymore. But actually, as an accomplished player, you have to be thinking about everything, and you have to always be thinking about considering all the options. But it is hard sometimes, and that is true. And even the best players with the greatest mechanics can sometimes forget about something which just does not come across their minds, because the mind is always dependent. So you know that the event A should be continue with the event B and then proceed to the event C. So if the event A is never happens, you probably will not even remember of the event B. Because this is how our brain works. It obviously does not has everything in focus every time, right? It is how it is so simple, but at the same time we can't create an artificial intelligence.
The point is captured.
Because it is at the same time extremely hard. So anyways, Domino is about to try once more. Not fond of using the Firefly this time around. Trying to see if he can make something done with just the princess, but actually just face checking. And he face checked that there are 3 guardsmen, so that means that he doesn't really want to face check with the princess. I'm not sure why Snowy is moving out. He has to be fighting under his ballistas. And alright, if he is in the defending position, probably he should be the one to drop a shipyard now. Because if you have a great defense, then why not try to break the enemy from the sea? It is something that Voros did in the previous video. I really like this concept. It is probably what you should do about the sea.
Forces are under attack.
At least unless we all are not able to do multitasking as great as to fight in everywhere at once. And obviously most of the players are not capable of that. And probably will never be. Because that is... multitasking is the hardest part of any strategy. Alright, here comes the meteorite! And Domino is quite successful avoiding that. So here comes the defensive scroll, but... oh, what a Fox Rider! Completely demolishing all the Snowy's battle plan. I really love that, but at the same time I really hate it. Just the 2 Fox Riders ruined all the perfect plan, because If the 3 ballistas would be ever able to shoot this, they will kill everything in probably one good shoot.
Forces are under attack.
Or whatever we call this, a salvo probably.
Resources collected.
And Snowy actually misplayed that, because even though the Fox Rider offended the ballistas, he should have still shoot where he was supposed to. So, yeah, probably you are not about to save your ballista, but you at least wanna make sure they deal damage you need them to. But Snowy just didn't use an attack ground command, and I believe that with the ballista the attack ground command is extremely important, and you have to know to do it. Because otherwise you'll be losing the games like this. And obviously Domino showed us a perfect defense against the proxy pirates. But anyway, what a game we've seen! Like 10 healers at the moment, 8 healers right now. Defensive ballistas and interesting combinations, and nobody ever had a second to build a shipyard and get a ship, because probably they were like one swordsman away from losing for the minutes through. So that was quite a game. So thanks to the players for playing it, for sharing it with us, and I believe you guys enjoyed it as well. Let us know in the comments, and I'm saying goodbye for this time. I'll see you later.